We are the most accidental food podcast on the internet.
Food and science.
Food, science, and football. The three Fs.
Pretty much.
Yeah. We're going to have to rebrand. All right. Episode 83. Whoa, dude. Do I feel like, are you guys seeing that I'm really loud? Do I sound really loud?
You do. Leave it, though. We like it. I like to hear your voice loud, bud.
Okay. Episode 83. Bob in Detroit, Jack in Detroit, Michael in Chicago. 83, Wes Welker. Was Wes Welker 83?
I believe so. Yeah. I think Lee Evans might have been 83. I could be very wrong. That's a fucking
Who is
throwback.
Lee Evans?
Lee Evans from the Buffalo Bills, the fastest player on the planet in Madden like 2009. You get Lee
Really?
Evans and Mike Vick with the arm strength. Fucking
Did not
touchdown
know
every
that one.
time.
Dude, I don't even have that name like anywhere. Like that's not even at the bottom of my feet. I don't have that name. I've never heard that name
Oh.
before. That's fucking crazy.
You know who I
All
was
right.
just thinking of is Santana Moss, but he was 89.
Yeah,
Darren
he was
Waller
he was
83
89.
until this year.
Oh yeah.
He's like number 6 now on the Giants or some weird shit, or like number 4.
Yeah, I saw Jalen Hyatt changed his number today to 13, donning the OBJ 13 for the Giants at receiver.
Ooh, bold move,
Bold.
Cotton. Let's see how
Bold
it works
strat.
out. Yeah, bold strat.
Boys, we got a quick one for you today. We got some hard stance of the week. If we have time, we might get into an article that I found. And at the end, we got some college football picks for the weekend for you. The gambling corner is back. Football is back. Today, when you walked outside, there was a little bit of a chill in the air this morning.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 60 degrees tonight for my baseball game, so I'm stoked.
Oh, baby, dude. And we got
Yeah.
bags tonight, and we're going to be throwing in the cold. See your breath throwing the bags. There's nothing better than that, dude. That just means
Absolutely.
turn on the crock pot, get the chili going, because football is fucking here, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. But first, let's get into some hard stances. I have a hard stance this week. Do you want to go
Very
first?
happy
Do you want
about
me to
that.
go first?
My hard stance is very dumb. It just came to me a couple days ago. Short and sweet. My hard stance is that I'm out on poppy seed buns. I'm out on all seed buns. Give me just normal bread, bro. I'm done with poppy seeds. I'm done with fucking sesame seeds. Get them out of my life. Out on them.
I've never understood, like, even when people put sesame seeds on chicken, you know? Like, I just never, like, does it taste like something? Am I fucked up because I'm not tasting what everybody else is tasting? That's what I've always wondered about the sesame seeds.
Yeah, the lack of enhancement for like the mess it makes, the give and take's just not there. I don't need. There's more seeds on my paper or my plate than there are in my fucking belly, and like I don't taste any of it, so I just don't understand it. I'm out on buns with seeds on it. Put peanuts on it. Put something good on it that I'm actually gonna taste. If you're gonna do some dumb shit,
and one is 100% going to end up in one of your molars every single time. One of those seeds.
Oh yeah,
it's an absolute lock. Is it
Yeah.
a grip thing? Maybe people are losing their sandwich and the seeds, like they're holding on to the seeds, and that keeps it. It's like a rough sandpapery type of thing.
It's like those socks you get at the hospital.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want you falling, so we'll
Yeah.
strap some sesame seeds to the bottom of your feet, and then you'll be fine.
Seriously though, man, I don't know what it is. I think it's an aesthetic thing more than anything. The teeth part and it's just a mess. So
Have you guys ever been on AITA Reddit?
No.
You know what that is?
I think only you are on there.
Oh, well, this is like a pretty common thing, but it's called Am I the Asshole? And then it goes on, people tell the fucking story. Bro, there's this thing going around though where people write bots. This is for like Snapchat content and TikTok content. People will make a bot that takes Reddit stories and then reads them aloud, but in like a Siri-esque voice. So people will be like, am I the asshole for abusing my girlfriend? I, 25M, started dating 23GF, but like the Siri voice won't know that M means male. So it'll be like, I, 25 meters. So it just butchers the fuck out of the story. And it's so funny, but the sesame seed thing would definitely be something that somebody would throw in there. They'd be like, am I the asshole for not understanding sesame seeds? So funny as fuck.
I mean, not
brioche then?
Yeah, brioche, pretzel, just any normal type of bun, like just a bun, sourdough, like, not sourdough's not really a bun, but anything that's I don't need it. I'll take a
Seeded.
potato bun, just no seeds. Yeah.
Okay. I'm there with you. I have a feeling that you're gonna like mine too. Maybe not.
While we're on bread, I have a question.
Yes.
You guys are making a sandwich, and you have two options for bread available. One is it's either like a wheat or a white bread, or you got like a mini hoagie bun. Which one are you going with?
Is this like turkey Sam or like PB&J?
No, you're not putting peanut butter or jelly anywhere near a hoagie bun. This is like a deli meat sandwich.
Sure you are.
Whoa. You can't do that.
Depends on how baked you are.
That is valid.
Or how much bread you got left, if those are the only option.
Because you see a hoagie bun and you're baked, you're like, this is going to be a long-ass PB&J, and I'm here for it. I'm all the way in on that. But, okay, so what are my options again? Lay them back out.
You got sliced bread of your choice or hoagie bun of your choice. Deli meat sandwich.
I'm going hoagie every time if it's a deli meat sandwich.
The reason, so I'm going to disagree on this one. I'm going normal bread. And the reason being, I have one reason, and this is for almost any sandwich, is when you have normal bread, you can have a favorite bite. You can have the best bite. With the hoagie roll, every bite's kind of the same. There's not really that one middle where you get every bit of cheese, every bit of meat, every bit of sauce. Boom.
That's the whole thing with the hoagie bun.
No, it's not, because
they're all the best bite.
Yeah, but think about it. That's like when you cut sandwiches in triangles over squares, it's more enjoyable because you get that nice fucking middle bite. That's why they cut clubs and BLTs into triangles, because it's a mental fucking bullshit, mental gymnastics that you do that makes it seem like, oh, this is actually tasting better because you're getting more sandwich bites per capita. Yeah. There's science to it. So I think the reason why I'm going to go bread is because there's a bite, like I can save this last bite. It's fire. With the hoagie roll, it's all good, but you don't have that satisfaction of being like, I saved the best for last. You know what I'm saying?
Do you guys cut your sandwiches when you're making it like at home? Are you cutting it into triangles or no?
Rarely.
I feel like that's just an extra step that I wouldn't take.
I'll tell you the one time that I'm cutting a Sammy. If I have a SpaghettiOs or a mini ravioli type of situation happening, something that the boy Chef Boyardee whipped up for me, if I got that, I'm getting two Sammys, both on white bread, both PB&Js, and I'm cutting them both in half.
That's the only sandwich I cut in half is a peanut butter and jelly. That's the only one. The rest of them, there's no need for it. I don't know why, but the PB&J I'll cut in half.
I love a cut in half PB&J. You know what I've been doing lately?
What?
I will, instead of making one PB&J, I will do two half PB&Js.
Yeah,
I'll do half peanut butter, half jelly, and then fold it. Good.
That's a Jim Falbo move. My dad would be proud of you.
Really?
That's a big Jimmy move. Oh yeah, he does that all the time.
It's a great way to do it, man. It's
really
a one-hander that way.
Yeah, I agree. It's like having it in a hoagie roll. Maybe you should just do it in a hoagie.
That is kind of like having it in a hoagie roll.
Dude, that bread is so different though. That's like using a hot dog bun.
I've done that before.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not proud of it. You're not like walking around telling people.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It's not that bad. Then you cut those in half. You just got like poppable pieces of PB&J. They should make. So I've gone into an Uncrustables phase at 30 years of my life. I've never had an Uncrustable in my entire life until about 3 weeks ago. And it might be the best thing on the planet. I swear to God.
Dude, a strawberry jam peanut butter Uncrustable?
Stop it.
Bro, I want to see Mike's face the first time he saw an Uncrustable.
I've known about him my whole life, but I never had him.
He lost his fucking marbles.
God,
it's like, you're telling me this is a PB&J right here.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, like,
packaging
hold
these
on.
up like it's a bag of Funyuns. How are they doing that? How long has this been happening?
Yeah. Says don't put it in the microwave. Fuck the rules. I put it in there for 10 seconds. Get that shit nice and
The
normal.
microwave? No, you pop that shit in the toaster, dog.
Oh,
The
fair
toaster,
enough. I
or
don't
I've
have a.
seen people eat them cold, like throw
I've
them
eaten them
bitches in the
cold.
fridge.
So I had them at work. So I got a Instacart, a bunch of groceries at work, and I was like, what can I eat in the morning that's not like lame? So I got some Uncrustables, and I didn't know how. I was like, well, this thing's ice cold right now, so I popped it in the microwave. We don't have a toaster.
First of all, I've never eaten an Uncrustable in like the ideal state. Whenever you get handed an Uncrustable, it's sort of frozen, or you're on like a fucking canoe trip and it's wet. There's only two kinds. There's like the only two ways I've ever been served an Uncrustable, and those are it.
Well, you better do your homework on eating Uncrustables the right way because they're so good. Dude.
I've never had one and actually popped it in the toaster myself. I've never eaten like an ideal Uncrustable, and I still think that they're that good.
That's crazy, dude. I saw some lady make French toast out of Uncrustables on the internet. That's why I bought the Uncrustables because I was like, dude, if
That's
they're making
genius.
French toast with these things, I'm fucking in.
Yeah, that's genius. That'd be so easy too. You just pop that shit in the eggs mix.
That's literally
Put
all
it
she
on
did.
the pan. There's
Done.
nothing to it.
Yeah, no extra steps at all.
No.
Unwrapping the fucking bread. That's it.
Yep. Maybe a little cinnamon sugar on top. Syrup. That's crazy.
Powdered sugar? Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sweating thinking about it.
I'm kind of sweating too. I'm not going to lie to you.
We are the most accidental food podcast on the internet.
Food and science.
Food, science, and football. The 3 Fs.
Pretty much.
We're going to have to rebrand.
We changed our name to the 3 Fs, but it says food, football, and science.
Yep.
We're not very good at the science
the
part.
3 Fs. Yeah. Food, football, and science. We're the 3 Fs.
Dude, I did have someone tell me that was listening was like, man, you know how you guys were talking about doing like a food show, like a food football show, but instead of it being based around like the actual football, it's based around the cooking and football is kind of going on in the background. How we were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
They're like, dude, that would be the best show ever, especially with you two idiots talking about it. And I was like, I appreciate that. I think we need to get a network to sign this up.
Dude, on like a Saturday morning before college game day comes on, put us on like that 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. slot.
Just give us fucking like Fox Sports.
Exactly. Us and Reggie Bush cooking some shit up.
Oh, man. Fuck, dude. All right, what is your heart stance, brethren?
My heart stance is also food.
Oh, yeah.
So the boys and I last week, we were sitting at home. We just ate dinner. We were like, feeling a little frisky. We're in the mood for a little treat, you know?
Yeah.
And there's 100 of these little like ice cream stand places around us. So we pop over to our guy Jim's. Shout out to Jim's over on 11 Mile. And we all order our shit. And then this dude orders this cone. And this was like one of those 90-degree days last week where it was just humid as fuck. The second the cone left through the little fucking screen door out of the cold and into his warm hand, drip city. And Cody was like, hey, dude, you might want to get a bowl for that. Like, they give you bowls if you want one. And the dude was like, nah, I'm good. Walked halfway to his car and then walked all the way back. He was like, I'm going to need that bowl. And so he popped the cone in the bowl. And I'm here to say it. I'm done with cones. I've graduated. I'm done with cones. I'm only bowls. When I go, I either get a Blizzard or a shake. Like, I'm not even fucking with ice cream at all. I'm not even putting ice cream in the bowl. I'm going shake Blizzard. And I think if you get a cone at this point, you got to bowl it. I understand the arguments that are going to come at me. A waffle cone is phenomenal. I love a waffle cone. Don't get me wrong. I'll muck a waffle cone. Like, if somebody gives me one, I'm not going to fucking say no to it. I'm just not walking up there and ordering it ever again in my life.
I have so many mixed feelings on this because I am very pro. So like I'm a big Dippin' Dots guy for one, because they're it's the easiest thing to do. Don't melt as roughly.
Yep.
But here's what I don't have an actual stance one way or the other for you here.
Are you about to tell
I
me that
agree.
you put your Dippin' Dots in a cone?
No, I'm not an asshole. Secondly, um, if I'm eating ice cream indoors at the place that I bought the ice cream, I'm going cone 100% of the time.
Okay. I get
Okay?
that.
So if you go
Inside.
an ice inside of the ice cream parlor or right outside where like if it there's like where you're not fucking, oh, hey, 5 minutes and it's all in my hand. If you're in a spot where you can eat it right there on the spot, I'm going with the cone.
Mhm.
But I agree with you other than that situation because of all the things you just said. So I'm mixed because I still really do like a cone. Or if I'm going to like McDonald's, I get a soft serve. But we're talking like an ice cream parlor type ice cream cone. I got to eat it there in order to get me a cone.
People preach the Don's ice cream.
Dude, hold on.
People
Jack,
love
what
that
the
shit.
fuck just happened?
That
All
was
right.
cracked. I
You're
don't
going
know.
okay, dude. Anyways, other than a Don's cone, there's one thing I do love about a waffle cone still, though. And obviously the flavor and whatnot. But what they should do, all right, at a Baskin Robbins or any fucking place, let's make waffle cone tortilla chips. Let's double them up so they're not super fragile. And then we fucking get a spoon. And instead of spooning it into our mouths, we spoon it onto the tortilla waffle chip and we fucking eat it like chips and salsa. Bingo.
Yeah, I'm all the way here for that. I think that's a great
I
idea.
mean, dude, just a handful of them. You know, you don't need the whole thing, but like half of your ice cream with the waffle chips.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, and you could put like, I mean, right back to cinnamon sugar, but put some shit like that on the chips, you know?
Yeah, 100%. But I don't like the concept of like breaking the waffle cone up into the ice cream. I like
No.
the thought of like, yeah, like you know, because you don't want waffle cone with every bite.
No, and also then it's a dangerous bite, if I'm being honest
Yeah,
with it. You don't know
exactly.
where that cone's sticking up at
No,
you. That you're gonna
yeah,
get stabbed 100 times doing that.
100%. The roof of your mouth is like an inmate on the first day of prison.
Yeah,
Like you might get shanked.
you might.
Yeah.
So it's like a
So
nachos type of situation.
yeah,
Ice cream
yeah.
nachos.
They had the Choco Taco. Let's make the fucking Choco Nacho. You know,
Oh, dude, yeah, you could make chocolate waffle cones too.
covered,
Damn,
yeah,
son.
dipped ones. We gotta stop having such good ideas on here.
I know, dude,
Nobody
and
listens, bro.
we always well, yeah, I know. Well, once we actually if we ever get like a substantial amount of viewers, we're going to have to stop saying shit like that because
Oh yeah,
we already lost
or
10 to 15 ideas.
yeah, or we just put it into practice and fucking make a billion. Anyways,
Right, or do it first.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into some college football.
All right.
We ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me, bro. Tell me.
So, let's just start off with the headliner. Florida travels to Rice-Eccles Stadium on Thursday night, which is tonight if you're listening to this, to play the Utah Utes. Hashtag what is a Ute? Hashtag we don't know. But unfortunately, the news came out today, we're recording on Wednesday, that it sounds like Cam Rising will not be playing in this game. That's what came out. I don't know if that's like directly
Oh.
from that's definitely not directly from the coaching staff because last year Utah had a similar situation with Cam Rising, who is their quarterback, and it was against Washington State, and they just let it go up to game time, and they were like, all right, he's not good enough to go. And the coach, Kyle Willingham, said again that that's going to be the same situation this time. So I wouldn't totally rule him out. But the way that I'm betting this game's not going to matter anyways. So a little bit of background first before we talk about how to bet this. Utah returning 8 starters on defense, 8 on offense. most in the Pac-12. They won the Pac-12 championship last year. Like, solid returning team. The main guy that they lost was Kincaid, their tight end. They fucking just replaced him with some other big white guy. So like, plug and play. Florida lost 13 starters. Feels like a lot.
Yeah, feels like a lot for sure.
The thing is with Florida is that now that they have Graham Mertz at quarterback, who, if you are listening to this, you've probably watched a decent amount of Big Ten football, and you probably know Graham Mertz fucking stinks. He was at Wisconsin, and they basically barely trusted him to hand the ball off. So for Florida to be any type of excited about Graham Mertz, I'm saying hold your horses. I would compare it, for all the Michigan folks out there, I'd compare it to when John O'Korn came over from Iowa. We're like, we know what this year's going to be. This guy's not good. He's a game manager. He's going to hand the ball off. We got to rely on a running game. Luckily for Florida, Graham Mertz handing the ball off. He's got Travis Etienne back there. He's good. Their other running back, I forget his name, also sick.
Who did Florida have last year? They had that Richardson dude.
Etienne's little brother.
His name is also Travis?
Trevor.
Oh,
one of them's like, Trevor, one of them's Travis.
Yeah, Travis is in the league. I was like, hold the fucking phone, Mom.
Trevor's the little brother. I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, Trevor's the little brother. Yes, good call. Sorry. Trevor is the little brother. So if Florida can run the ball, they got a damn good shot in this game. But if they can't, they might be fricked. As far as Utah goes, they got a bunch of guys coming back. If Cam Rising doesn't go, they're going to try to establish the run too. This thing could get ugly. The under could be a play, honestly. But if I'm betting this game, which I will be, you will be, America will be, I'm waiting until 5 minutes into this thing. This is a big time, I feel like, live bet, get a feel. We don't know what the fuck's going to happen on week 1 as it is. Why go into this very exciting game betting on a side when you don't even know if one of the quarterbacks is playing?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I like what you're saying. I think live betting right away into the game is becoming more and more of a thing with all sports. Especially if what you want to bet on kind of has a slow start, so you can get a little better odds sometimes, the thing that sucks about that is when Utah comes out and scores a touchdown on the first drive, and then all of a sudden the spread's back up to 8. And it's like,
you got to beat that.
That's
you got to beat that to the punch. You do.
It's almost like you watch the coin toss, and if Utah gets the ball first, you wanted to bet Utah -4, -4.5, wherever it is right now. If they win the toss and they take the ball, you fucking hammer that right away, and then whatever. But like, if Florida gets the ball first, you wait, see what happens, and hopefully they score or get a field goal or something. Then you're like, all right, what's a Ute?
What's a Ute? Let's figure it out.
Hammer.
Dude, I think a Florida field goal off the rip could be your best bet for this game for Utah,
then
if you're leaning that side.
Yeah, you're looking at damn near money line at that point, or a 1.5 point spread. And now it's like, just win the game, hopefully. You know what I mean? Unless it's a 1 point game, then you're distraught. But
right.
I like what you're saying about the under. I feel like Florida as a whole, I could be very wrong. My SEC football knowledge, college football knowledge in general is very patchy. Like, I either know, I'm like, oh, I kind of got a really good idea, or I'm like, and Florida's one of those teams. And like, the butt end of the SEC is one of those spots in college football that I am bad at. And Florida, I feel like, though, over the last few years, over the last, however long, they've really become a defensive, like a defensive squad, I think, more so than offensive. I know they had like Kyle Pitts and shit, but I just do feel like they became more of a defensive, like, overall team.
Yeah.
Not that it always is like the truth, not that they always shut everyone down, but I don't know. I just felt like, hey, they didn't have that quarterback like after the Tebow and all that shit. So they really were like, hey, if we're going to compete, we got to play D. I don't know if that's still the case, but I do feel like, that quarterback doesn't play. Boom. I think the under might be the play here, but that could be the sucker bet too,
I agree.
The sucker bet.
And real quick, just for reference, that over-under opened at 50, now down to 44. So
Damn.
do with that information what you will. The Vegas is really pumping that thing down as we head into the week, learning more and more and more about whether or not Cam Rising might be playing. Vegas seems to think maybe he's not playing, or there were just a bunch of sharp guys right on it when it opened at 50 that said no shot. You know,
I mean that probably was the case more so, but for it to go 7 point or 5.5 points,
yeah,
that's pretty big.
yeah,
Like I can
that's a
see,
big jump.
all the yeah, like that's definitely a personnel jump, not just all the sharps are on it. Where it's like then it usually goes down 2, 3, not that much usually,
Yep. A few more. Let me give you another one. Actually, I have two more for you on this glorious Thursday night. So weird game, 7:30 Thursday night. UConn NC State. UConn NCAA men's basketball champion, UConn Huskies, are on the gridiron against the NC State Huskies, and they're getting 14 and a half. And this was a team that Coach Jim Mora, he's been everywhere. I'm sure everybody knows that name, probably from the UCLA days for Jim Mora. But he came to UConn last year. They were 1-11 in 2021, and he coached them to 6-7 last year. So this isn't like the terrible UConn teams that we're accustomed to seeing. They also returned 76% of their production. So they got a bunch of people coming back. That's 9th best in the country. And I think that's kind of a big deal in these week 1 games. You'll see a theme. I mean, the guys that come at the teams that have the most returning starters, it feels like have the better chance to win. There's no experimenting. There is no preseason in college football. So if you're looking at guys that mesh well together already and they're getting 14 and a half, 2 touchdowns and the hook, thanks very much. Go to the bank. So I'm taking UConn plus 14 and a half. Last one I got here. Actually, I got 2 more. Nebraska at Minnesota. Also, Thursday night. Give me the Skurs, dude. Give me the Huskers. Matt Rule, game 1 for Nebraska, and it's going to be Big Ten play heading over to Minneapolis to play Minnesota. Again, dude, I don't got to tell you what the theme is here. Nebraska's bringing a bunch of guys back. Minnesota's not. Minnesota's basically replacing a bunch of guys on their offensive line. They're replacing Mo Ibrahim, stud running back for them for the last 2 or 3 years. The line's at 7, so I think it's enough to play with. I love the Huskers plus 7, and that one I think Matt Rule will have the boys fired up, rip roaring, ready to go. That one's Thursday night as well. Let's move. I got one more game Saturday. And this low-key is my favorite game of the weekend. I am very excited to watch this one. Obviously, that Florida State LSU game is going to be sick, but I think that this one has the potential to be absolute fireworks with 2 stud quarterbacks, and that is North Carolina, South Carolina, in Charlotte at the Bank of America Stadium where the Panthers play. Should be a rowdy atmosphere. There's going to be 80,000 people in there. Fucking both sides are going to be well represented, I'm sure. But it's Drake May against Spencer Rattler. And North Carolina can't stop a fucking nosebleed. That's kind of just been the thing for them. And I think this one might come down to defense because both offenses they score a lot. Yeah. And South Carolina just returns a lot more on defense than they had a better defense last year. Markedly better than North Carolina. So South Carolina catching plus 2.5, which kind of tells me, I don't know. This is basically it feels like a pick'em game almost. But if they're going to give me South Carolina plus 2.5 with that defense coming back strong and Spencer Rattler, the way that he evolved last year, give me the Gamecocks. Give me the Cocks.
I like that play a lot. I like that the way that he ended the year beating really high quality teams last year. I mean, dude, like they just figured it out. Like they found a way to win games in tough situations. And I don't like Spencer Rattler at all, but I think that he, after the last 7 or 8 games last year, you were like, oh, this is the kid that Oklahoma thought they were getting. You know what I mean? Like, this was the guy, and I like that. I will definitely be riding that South Carolina +2. I'm not a believer in Drake May. I thought I was, and I think I'm over the North Carolina quarterbacks because I was a believer in Sam Howell, and then the next year when he was supposed to be a Heisman candidate, guy threw for like 20 touchdowns and stunk, and they were bad.
Right.
Like thought they were going to win the ACC, blah blah blah. I think this will be the same thing. Oh, hey, he was a novelty. Now people are going to figure him out, bust his ass down.
Well, and he lost a big target in Antoine Green too. He went to the draft. The Lions actually had him at camp. So like that, there's just too much inconsistency on the North Carolina side for me to.
Yeah.
And the Gamecocks play for Shane Beamer. They love that guy as head coach. So.
Yeah. I feel like it's just I don't know. I feel like them getting 2 points is kind of insulting for that. It's like, I don't know. I feel like that should be a pick 'em.
Well, it's funny, when I first saw the game the other day, it just said UNC at South Carolina, and South Carolina was catching 2.5. I was like, what in the fuck is going on with this line? This is a night game in South Carolina, and they're not favored? Like, what is going on? And then I found out that it was at the Panther Stadium, which makes a lot more sense. But I think if this thing was in Columbia, South Carolina, I think they fucking roll them. Roll.
Yeah. I don't think it'll matter. I mean, where it's neutral enough to where I don't think it'll matter.
I agree.
But yeah, that's I like that one. The other two I don't know much about. Graham Hurts or whatever the fuck his name is. Graham Mertz. But the only thing I gotta say about college football this year is take the over in Iowa Hawkeyes wins. I think it's at like 6.5. Everyone is saying they suck. I got a customer at work. They all went to Iowa. They're actually really cool guys. Got a hammer with them a couple times. And they're preaching that this team is not good, but their schedule is short enough, is bad enough to where they think they could squeak out 6, maybe 7 wins or whatever it is over the line. So I'm gonna ride it because they seem like they're realists about things, and I did look at the schedule and I was like, okay, I can see this. I think the Big Ten has down year personally.
They're over under set at 8.5. I could totally see it.
8.5.
Yeah, the West.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The West is weird because you kind of got Wisco over there with Luke Fickell coming in, and then you got Iowa, and then it's pretty much up for debate after that. But Iowa has Cade McNamara at quarterback, a guy that's won the Big Ten championship. They got Eric All, who's another Michigan transfer at tight end, absolute stud. And then they got their own tight end that is going to be sick because they all are. So, like, if they can actually throw the rock around this year,
100%.
Who the fuck knows? Sky's the limit.
I mean, don't need 13, just need 9. I like it. I'm gonna ride that before that one.
I like that. All right. Well, that's it for us. Short and sweet today. Go follow us on YouTube, Instagram.
Literally short and sweet.
Yeah, literally short and sweet.
Ice cream,
definitely sweet.
Short.
Follow us if you're not following us. Subscribe to the YouTube if you're not. We're almost to 200 subscribers on YouTube, which is pretty sick.
I know. I saw that.
Keep getting those numbies up, and we'll keep going to the moon. If we get to the moon, we'll start releasing merch. So
100%.
Fucking make it happen. All right. We love you guys. Episode 83 is a wrap. We will see you next week. Peace.